Easiest coming right out of the box. And since I wanted to get students and teachers using it right away, easy is better. So, and it is a really well-made printer. We've had little to no trouble with it. I had to replace a heating element. And for modeling, we've been using Tinkercad for the older students. But because up until a week ago, you had to be 13 or older to use Tinkercad, we had been also using something called 3D Design Something, which is available as a Chrome app on the Chromebooks. And since a lot of people are moving to Chromebooks, this is a good app for that. It's actually essentially the same as 3D Tinkercad, with a few additional objects. You can create your own objects in that easier than you can in Tinkercad. But some of the older students have moved on to Blender as well.
It's pretty straightforward out of the box. It comes with like the Allen wrenches to take it apart. It's pretty user-friendly, and there are a lot of YouTube videos for how to do the maintenance yourself. We also use Tinkercad. Tinkercad just got bought by Autodesk last week. They migrated all the accounts, so there was a bad week of login errors and just a total mess.
Anomalies, all kinds of things.
Man, what a mess. But they're more or less back online, and they've massively scaled up their capacity. I think they're a browser-based social platform, so Tinkercad's a good first stop. We have some students use Sculptris, S-C-U-L-P-T-R-I-S, which is a downloadable app, not like app, but like for a desktop. And that lets you do much more complex and malleable figures. It lets you create things that are animation quality, video game quality. And we had some, that's mostly it. We've had some kids bring in other things that they've sort of played with on their own, but as far as teaching stuff, that's really what we stick with. If I bought another one, I'd probably buy a MakerBot Replicator 2X, which has got 2 nozzles, so you can print 2 colors of plastic, including dissolvable plastic, so you could like have gears inside things.
And you do have the 2X, right?
Yes, yeah, we have a 2X, and we have a solid little 2 that still works. The 2X, the replicator was really important to us because you can put your file on a little card and then pop the card into the printer and it goes. You don't have to leave your computer plugged in the whole time, so that was really important to keep the printing going. And Tinkercad as well.
And I think you mentioned Rhino and
Rhino and the Uprint by Stratasys.
and what kind of printer did you get, Sierra?
We got a flash forward, and it has, you can print from an SD card or the USB, and has 2 nozzles.
Except for finding the second nozzle keeps hitting our prints that we're doing, so we have to take that nozzle off.
An item that they want printed. And so we have that working for us, but, this is what we were doing this year. Because they're bare bucks, they had an idea that they would break up into 4 different teams. So we have all of the grades from 3rd up, break into teams, and try to design the best money clip that we could for our bear bucks, using their logos and their names. So the first thing we did was we had them create the design they wanted between the 4 of them, and we printed them. I printed them as is because the idea was to show them the first print is not always correct, and the prototype process is to refine as you go along. So we would go through maybe 2 or 3 iterations and come up with a final project. And that's where we are today with that. With that on the plate, that'll help it here as well.
I love it.
Make sure you've got your ventilation.
That's great.
Amazing.
Well, the acetone also will give any of your prints a smooth surface. So all of that ridging that you experience will just disappear when you dip it into acetone. Very quick bath, but you can also turn it into a vapor. Yep, if you're outside, you can turn it into a vapor because acetone has a boiling point that is lower than its burning point. So it will boil and turn into a vapor and surround your print, causing the outside to melt, which also gives it some more strength.
I don't know if you guys saw the 3D printed car in the news maybe month ago.